On today's show,
is Doc Rivers to blame for the Clippers' 8-game losing streak?
Up-down on the Joker's ejection, Reggie Jackson icing Butler, and Gasol getting teed up for kicking a shoe.
And we show you our best side in a brand new edition of Weekend Whoopsies.
It's Monday, November 20th. The starter starts now.
Good evening, sweet world, and welcome to The Starters. Whether you're joining us live right now on NBA TV, catching it on YouTube later, listening to the podcast, we're happy to have you. I'm Jay Skeets, and alongside me, as always, that's Tas Mellis.
See our new uniforms?
Yeah, look at this. We didn't plan this. To his right, it's the international man of mystery taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friend.
Lily, and last, certainly not least, over yonder, it is the bearded one. It's Trey Kirby.
Hey,
yo! TK, what's up, man?
Well, I'm here at the internet looking for your best tweets at hashtag the starters, and I hope y'all are ready for some cuteness because Marc Gasol explained Mike Conley's injury to a toddler over the weekend, and the results were even more adorable than you can imagine.
Yeah, I know he's already feeling, but he'll be fine. I'm taking care of him. I promise. You got a little owie right here. A little owie.
That's right, Mike Conley is missing games because of a boo-boo. And it brings us to today's question. How do you explain other NBA things to kids? For instance, anytime my 3-year-old is watching Steph Curry shoot free throw, she says, "Why does he have a nook?" And then I have to explain, actually, it's a mouth guard, and he has it so his teeth don't break, so he can eat as much grown-up adult food as he wants, to which she replies, "But why? But why, but why, but why? But why, but why, but why?" But we want to hear from you, so let us know on Twitter what other NBA things need to be explained to kids. Send us your best tweets to hashtag the starters. We'll hear from you later.
All right, get those tweets in. We got a fun show tonight. We're going to get into, a couple Nuggets getting ejected from the Lakers game. We got a new batch of Weekend Whoopsies. Lee's got a very solid play, but we start here with a little true or false. Trey's got the questions. We'll debate whether the answer is true or false. Trey, take it away.
You might not have noticed, but after Saturday's defeat at the hands of the Hornets, the LA Clippers have now lost 8 straight games. 8, guys! Most of those have come against playoff contenders, but it's still tied for the longest losing streak yet this season. So, true or false, Doc Rivers should be fired.
Whoa!
Whoa. What do you want him to do? This is false.
Okay.
He hasn't had his starting backcourt intact since game 2 of the season. Both of them. Patrick Beverley's been out for 5 games. Teodosic out since game 2. And so he's starting Austin Rivers and Lou Williams. That's obviously a huge downgrade. And at the same time, I think what's telling right now during this 8-game winning streak is those guys out, those guys out just shows how much they miss Chris Paul and that leadership, because they're just bad on both sides of the floor when it comes to clutch time. Down the stretch, minute 3, minute 2, 1 minute left, I don't understand how they could be bad on both sides.
Right.
And to me, it just means that guys aren't ready to play. I mean, they just don't have sort of leadership roles.
Well,
sort
their
of
depth, it's their depth in general.
Yeah, I mean,
they've got a lot of guys who sit on the bench, and I think Doc Rivers looks and he goes, I don't know if I can trust a lot of these guys. But I think the other problem is they're third last in assists and assist ratio, dead last in the league in potential assists. So the ball is clogged up on offense. It doesn't move around at all. Blake gets it in his hands, and he gets overwhelmed, and he can't do everything. And Austin Rivers, he's being okay for them, but again, this is a workload that's a little bit too much for him. So until Doc Rivers gets his players back healthy, I don't think it's fair to evaluate the season. And then, if the Clippers are still struggling, then he's going to be under a lot more pressure.
That's what they're used to at the end of games, though, is not moving the ball. Because they do move it for the majority of games, of the game. And then when it comes down to the last few minutes, they're sort of used to Chris Paul saying, all right, I got this, and Blake Griffin saying, I got this. But they're not moving it at the end of games, and that's obviously telling with the stats.
They play the Knicks, I believe, tonight. They got a Hawks game coming up there. They've got some teams that they might be able to get back into the win column, stop this losing streak, which is quite bad. But you're right. Once these guys come back, and if they were continue to lose, because you look at Blake Griffin's body language right now, especially if that nice start. They started 4-0, and we were like, okay, and then they weren't playing the greatest teams in the world when they started this season, but they were winning. We got a little excited. We thought, Blake, look, back to MVP Blake. But over this last little while, his body language is rough. I don't know if it's just because he's struggling to shoot the basketball, but it's just every single play, it feels like he's complaining to the referees about, I got hit, I should be going to the line, every second play at least. So you'd like to see that as your leader. You're saying no lead, no Chris Paul. I mean, you want to see that from Blake. He's the guy. He's your all-NBA guy that has to lead them.
That's true, but I do think when Chris Paul leaves and then Patrick Beverley is out of the lineup and they start playing playoff teams and Beverley's out and Gallo's out, I think there's just some built-in excuses and that's entirely fine.
You look at Doc's contract, if you're curious, he's got one more year locked in when he signed that big extension way back when. So he's under contract for another year, this one and the next. If that comes into play, you got a rich guy there. I think you're right. I think they're allowed. They'll get some of these pieces back. And if they continue losing, I would not be shocked if Doc is out and Mike Woodson or a Sam Cassell, maybe he gets a crack at this, steps in there and just sees if he can save the season at all. Because eventually someone has to take the blame for all the else. But
what sort of helps for them is Rudy Gobert's big injury, Mike Conley's boo-boo.
Yeah.
Some of these Western Conference teams have lost key guys.
To maybe still be in the playoff.
Even despite an 8-game losing streak after starting 5-2, they're not out of it.
No, for sure. All right, Trey, next one.
All right, the Warriors followed up that Thursday night loss to the Celtics with back-to-back wins this weekend. The first came Saturday against the Sixers when they erased a 22-point halftime deficit in about 10 minutes with a 47-point third quarter. The other was yesterday when they blew out the Nets in the first half, then chilled in the second half before playing just enough in the fourth quarter to hang on to the win. True or false? The Warriors are bored.
It's true. It's hard to look at this and think it's false because the Warriors know every night they're getting their best shot from another team.
Yeah.
And teams can kind of hang with them for a period or two. But the Warriors know over the course of 4 quarters, when they're playing at their best, they're very hard to beat. In a one-game scenario, any team can beat any other team on any given night, but come playoff time, it's hard to see that the Warriors would really fear anybody. So in November, when you're on a bit of an East Coast trip against a couple of teams that they're like, these teams aren't really going to cause us any trouble, it's hard to think, we're just a little bit complacent right now.
Yeah, I don't think it really matters who's playing on the other side of the floor. It just happens with NBA teams that are great teams that make finals after finals after finals. They just go into the season and say, we're too good to really be worrying about a game in November. We know we can get there. I mean, look at the Lakers getting 3 straight earlier this century, the 4th finals there. They kind of imploded that season. The Miami Heat, that 4th finals, Dwayne Wade said he was surprised that they even got to that point because you just get tired of it. Look at the Cavs this year. I think it happens year in, year out with these teams, and you need sort of just these little sparks, like Steph Curry, 39 yesterday because Kevin Durant was out.
Yeah.
I mean, that just sort of sparked him to say, all right, I'm back to my old Steph Curry mode. They need these little tiny tidbits throughout the season.
I agree with all of that. I guess the only thing you could say is that you can build bad habits with this mentality, of course, right? Because a lot of the time, all season long, it feels like the Warriors play ho-hum basketball in the first half and then they turn it on in the third quarter. That's just a bad habit to create. You'd rather them turn it on in the first quarter and get that lead. But I guess if you can do it, I mean, you look at their third quarter numbers, they're mind-boggling. Across the board, they're scoring nearly 33 points per game in third quarters. And then field goal percentage, 3-point percentage, and so on. So,
and the thing is,
it's wild.
The mental advantage they have, because even though the Sixers built up that huge first quarter lead, first half lead, once the Warriors got back to within a couple of possessions, the Sixers were gone. You could tell that the Sixers didn't really know how to hang on to a lead, and that's inexperience of being able to win. Whereas the Warriors are like, we've got these guys right now. They know they can't beat us, and they almost blew out Philadelphia after Philadelphia put up 47 points in the first quarter.
Yeah, you were tweeting about that game, how you got to trust the process. The Sixers laying the smackdown on the Warriors, and then in the blink of an eye, in 9 or 10 minutes, which is sort of the blink of an eye in a basketball game, the Warriors had like a 10-point lead.
It was fun to watch, but like I say, you looked at the Sixers and they were like, man, how did we score 47 points? Now it looked like they couldn't even score one basket in that period when the Warriors were putting all the pressure on.
It's just it's the factor of being a championship team.
Of course, they won 73 games 2 years ago, and then they go 16-1 in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
You're going to feel pretty confident when you have basically the exact same team, at least from your stars down.
It's not just the players who are bored. Steve Kerr is showing up to press conferences with a nail clipper or a slinky. I mean, everybody's having some laughs and having some fun. But Draymond Green told us before the season it was going to be tough to keep this focus up, and he is their focus setter, right?
Yeah.
Night in and night out.
All right, Trey, final one.
All right, Lonzo Ball might not be joining any skirmishes, but he did knock his second triple-double of the season yesterday, going for 11 points, 16 rebounds, and 11 assists in a win against the Nuggets, just a few days after people were asking if the Lakers should bench him or send him to the G League. True or false, Lonzo Ball is back!
Oh, my goodness.
He's back!
Well, he's back for one game, but he's a rookie. He's going to be up and down all season long. Key last night, and apparently Brian Shaw, the assistant coach, talked to Lonzo Ball about this. Go after your rebounds. When you rebound, you're a lot more engaged in the game. He had 16 rebounds last night. But it also helped that the Nuggets lost their best player in the first half. Their coach was out. It was a 20-point game. Paul Millsap got injured.
Of course.
So
A triple-double's still impressive. It
sure.
doesn't matter. They might be watered down a little bit in today's game, but that's still impressive. But, we keep talking about his shooting and how poorly it looks at times, and he can't hit any. I keep focusing on, does he have any explosiveness off the dribble in getting by guys? And last night, it happened a couple times. I don't want to go overboard, but there's a couple. There's one at the end of the half where he finally exploded by somebody and finished at the rim. And there was another one in transition where he looked great, and that's where he's been solid. But he doesn't get by a lot of guys. Is that because he's passive, he doesn't have the handles yet, needs to work on that? I mean, we keep talking about the shot. Look at that, though. That, to me, from your point guard in today's game, you got to be able to penetrate and then kick. If you're such a great passer, then you kick to the corners and knock down threes to your guys. But that's something to focus on for me.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's those sort of in-between skill sets. I forget about the shot for a second, but if you can get to the free throw line even and hit a floater,
right,
and get to the rim and get a better percentage up. I mean, that's what it is to me, and setting up guys and getting the boards, and he's not going to score 20 per. I mean, the games before that, he went 7, 2, and 6 points in each of those games. Is he back? No, he's having a rough start to the season, and that's
17
okay.
games in.
Oh, he's back.
Trey just likes to yell, he's back.
Yeah, I put it in every single document when we're working on the show. You guys finally took the bait. He's back!
I love it. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, we will, we'll get into the up-down report. We're going to talk about a couple nuggets getting tossed from last night's game versus those Lakers. Don't go anywhere. Well, let's hear it, Trey.
We're back!
There you go. Into the up-down report. Time to figure out where we stand on some recent NBA developments. Let's see those thumbs on Twitter. Hashtag the starters, thumbs up or thumbs down. First one, Nuggets center Nikola Jokic and coach Mike Malone were ejected in the second quarter of yesterday's game versus the Lakers. Malone was irate over a no call on a shot attempt from Jokic. He stormed onto the court directly in the path of the official, who wasted no time ejecting him. And then Jokic ejected for voicing his opinion, I guess, also in the mix there. Are you up or down on the Jokic part here of him also getting ejected? Because Malone said no way, it shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, I agree with that. Really? I'm surprised.
He touched him. He touched him on the arm. If you touch him on the arm, you're out of here. I think
Did
it was
he
a
touch
heated
him?
moment because Mike Malone really rushed out there.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
he's going to get ejected, but I think just in that 10-foot radius sort of area, a lot was going down. So the ref sees that Mike Malone is obviously very heated. Nikola Jokic comes over. He touches him gently, forearm to forearm, but it's still a touch
Right.
in a heated area. You're getting tossed.
But
I do think he had beef on the calls, though, too. He probably got fouled.
Yeah, he definitely got fouled on the call, there's no doubt. But under these circumstances, I really think they should go and review that. The referee should go and review it, maybe even take the one who ejected the player out of it and have the other ref, because that's a crucial decision. I mean, they were down 18 points at the time, but there's only 6 minutes to go in the first half.
a star player, for
Exactly,
sure.
a star
Yeah.
player going. So, and that flips. I mean, Malone, there's no question he deserved to go. He can't be running onto the court like that. But Jokic, I think the referee overreacted under the heat of the moment in those circumstances.
This is one situation, very rare situation, where the coach got a player ejected.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
if Malone doesn't act out, then Jokic doesn't
Yeah.
get tossed.
Yeah, he
once
probably
over.
gets a tack or something,
And
yeah.
that forearm to forearm action, Trey, I mean, you just mentioned it. I barely noticed it.
It's gentle forearm to forearm action.
I think
no
the
doubt.
referee was sort of protecting himself there and shoved his arm out.
Oh, you think Jokic should have kicked him out?
You're kicking me out.
Another ref kicks that ref. Very interesting. It's like Inception here. Okay, interesting. All right, next one here, guys. Last night, the Pistons led the Wolves by one with 6.2 seconds left because Jimmy Butler had hit 2 free throws. He needed to hit 1 more. But in between those free throws, look at Reggie Jackson stepping up there, wasting some time. Butler not happy, given the "Are you serious?" look there, and then he would miss. The Pistons would go on to win. So obviously a crucial miss. Are you up or down on Reggie Jackson distracting Butler there at the line? Oh, thumbs up.
The loneliest place in the world is a free throw line. Physically, it's the easiest shot in the NBA. Mentally, it's the hardest. And we saw why. Jimmy Butler, 87% from the
That's
line.
just a rhythm thing, is what you're saying, though.
Just knocked it down. He knew exactly what Reggie Jackson
Yeah.
was doing. Reggie and Stanley Johnson knew what was going on, and it worked perfectly. Well done, Pistons.
Why'd he let him get in his head like that?
You think if he would have just focused straight on the rim, not even responded?
Yeah.
Come on.
But I think the main part is like the ref is not
Exactly.
giving Jimmy the ball, and he is
wants
in a
it.
rhythm.
Yeah. Give me the ball, man.
Look is fantastic.
I mean, that ball rattled.
Oh, it popped
man.
in and out. Popped in and out. But you're up on that as well, Trey. You love it.
gamesmanship.
Oh, yeah, it's classic gamesmanship. Of course, it brings to mind Scottie Pippen telling Karl Malone on a Sunday, the mailman doesn't deliver on Sundays. That's a classic NBA moment. This, I don't know if it's going to go down as a classic, but Jimmy Butler's face was pretty classic, if you ask me.
Game one of the finals versus a regular season game in November, but still, it just shows
counts.
it just shows it works.
All right, final one here, guys. Marc Gasol, he picked up one of the stranger techs you're ever going to see in the first quarter versus the Rockets. Capella loses his shoe there, pops off. Gasol sees the sneaker, moves over, kicks it off the floor, and he gets whistled for a technical foul. He got tech for that, for trying to clear the shoe. Are you up or down on Gasol getting a tech for just kicking the shoe? Okay.
Across the board. Gasol just wants to be safe. He's got a little one at home. He's probably stepped on a few pieces of Lego.
Yeah.
So he's kicking that thing off the floor. And Clint Capella is actually going to set a pick. He's not even looking for his shoe.
Yeah, you're right.
And this is a classic NBA problem. A referee from the other side of the floor, Tony Brown, makes the call, but he can't see Gasol's face. This is Tony Brown way in the corner over there. He can't see what's going on.
Marc Gasol's soccer skills again on display.
Yeah,
That's
you
a
like that
beautiful
nice
little
touch,
toe poke.
little
yeah.
touch, yeah.
Oh,
Leave
yeah,
anything by
yeah.
his
He
feet.
put that through, the striker comes through, gets a ball and bangs in a goal. That's Dennis Bergkamp like.
But we've seen guys pick up shoes and like chuck them. For sure.
Yeah.
We've seen, didn't Blake Griffin hit Corey
Blake
Joseph
Griffin hit Corey
in the
Joseph
head?
in the face. Rudy Gay picked up DeMar DeRozan's shoe, threw it in the crowd. It hit a woman in the face who was looking at her phone. Nobody got text, but Marc Gasol, the nicest guy in the world, helped us move chairs. We're giving him text
That's
for
right.
throwing shoes. Come on.
All right, all down across the board. Let's hear from you guys though on Twitter, #Stars.
That's the shoe.
That's definitely not the shoe. That is the shoe. All right, when we return, we got Weekend Whoopsies back in the mix. Don't go anywhere. Keep the streak alive.
We're back.
There you go. It's time for some Weekend Whoopsies, bloops and hoops.
After Austin Rivers let go of the basketball here, Cavs get on a fast break. This is overtime, folks. This is
Barely
overtime.
a fast break.
Is anyone going to play defense?
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That's not a fast break.
Come on.
Just walk it up. Oh, okay. There's no one at the rim.
Anybody?
Lou Williams.
Anybody?
Let's blame Lou.
Same game. Check out Cavs Center. Ante Digits just wants to be dapped up. LeBron,
Anyone?
Kyle,
Come on.
Kevin, anybody? Coach?
they were.
Hey,
You
Coach.
got to aim it at somebody.
Coach, turn around. Yeah, it's true. He's just
Come on.
throwing it out there, yeah.
Same game. Lots of bloops in this one. Big shot here from Kevin Love. This Cavs security guard forgets he's working for a second.
Hey.
He's bummed. Big shot. We're winning this, baby. Oh, well, back to work.
Sit down, everyone.
Same game. Let's stick with it. Blake Griffin getting a little high there on Crowder, right into the Hibberts.
Really crowding them up.
Yeah.
Costa Kufos. Terrible air ball on this one. So bad. Let's take a second look here. Oh, yeah.
he knew it.
No,
Costa,
he knows
man.
it's
It's
off.
I knew it right away.
Marc Gasol gets a tech because he's trying to keep people safe. He doesn't want anyone turning their ankle on a shoe. He got a tech for that. Ridiculous.
Whoopsie on the ref, Daniel.
Yeah. Who gets a tech for kicking a shoe?
Dwight Howard, there's a reason he's not a point guard. That was the Hornets' only turnover of the half. You saw Coach there.
He was open.
Yeah.
Nice hands, coach.
Check this from Andre Drummond. Takes the hit, goes down, and then really sells the He just turns into a rag doll.
Wolves down 3. 6 seconds left. Butler has 3 free throws to tie the game. Buries the first.
Easy.
Buries the
All
second.
right, one more.
Reggie Jackson. Is he a football player? Because it's time to ice the field goal kicker here.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, Jimmy doesn't like it. Jimmy doesn't like it.
Jimmy likes his rhythm.
Oh.
We have not had a good video
Oh, yeah.
in a while. Channing Frye coming through behind Dwayne Wade. I mean, it just makes me miss Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
That's all it really does.
doubt.
But it's a good one.
Gotta play basketball. But first, coffee. JaVale McGee with a coffee.
Shout out to Daryl
Coming out to
Armstrong.
the floor.
That's incredible. Within that game, David West playing some posterior defense. Oh, man. Right in the kisser. Exactly.
Sean Livingston doinks his teammate, Patrick McCaw. Turnover.
And they all just laugh.
They had a
Anyways,
huge
who
laugh.
cares?
Stick with that game. Quincy Acey going down the lane.
Oh.
And then almost looks like,
Like
he
an
sort of,
invisible block shot.
yeah, he like blocks himself. He like flicks it backwards.
There's a ghost in there.
Chris Dunn here, behind the back to no one.
You've always got to look at your fingers in that case, or, you know.
Look at your fingers.
Yeah,
Why not?
something slipped out of my hand, you know. Chris Dunn bad.
Great batch of weekend whoopsies. One more break. When we come back, Lily hits us with the very solid play, not just from Sunday, but the entire weekend is in play here. All right, Trey, we asked the people out there, what were some other NBA things explained to kids? They hit us up on Twitter, #Starters. What we got?
That's right. Mark says Melo is just singing because he's happy he got a rebound. That's exactly right. Donald says his grandson keeps looking at tattoos. How come LeBron can draw on his arms and I can't? That's a hard conversation to have. And Daniel says they need to learn about the Hornets and the Hawks. But honestly, Daniel, I think you're too young to know about the Hornets and the Hawks.
Great responses there on a Monday. Friday night's pick'em play game was the Pistons and the Pacers. Tass and I got it right, taking Indiana. So that's big. Lee and Tass are tied for last place, and that's very important, of course. You don't want to be in last. You got to do something on the show. Tonight's game, Clippers at Knicks. Trey and Lee like the Knicks. Tass and I take the Clippers on the road. Tonight on NBA TV, coming up quite soon here, Pacers and Magic. So make sure you stick around to watch that one. Lily, where are we going for the very solid play?
Heading down to the Fortress on Saturday night for our beauty from the Boston Celtics once again. Kyrie starts it off. Everyone gets a little touch. Here it goes. Finishes off with a beautiful bounce pass. Jalen with the finish. That's what I call a very solid play.
Very solid. Also solid, the Starters Twitter show. Join us tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern live. Always a blast. You guys can get your questions in, your comments in throughout the show, live right there. So again, check it out on Twitter. All right, Stash Watch 2017. Cameraman Rick, cameraman Todd.
Oh, they're looking good.
They're looking all right. Who's winning? I would say Rick.
Rick might
has
have
the lead.
Yeah.
We're trying to make money for Movember. Go to Movember.com, search for the Starters. Let's raise some money for men's health, guys. Let's do this. We've got a long way to go. Come on. That's it for us. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, thank you so much for joining us, folks. And remember, tattoos are forever.
Race the night, people.